Hello, everyone. My name is Hector Adonis, and I'm going to talk about illegal immigration in America. This topic is important because, as President John F. Kennedy said, the United States is a nation of immigrants. Another reason is that even though many Americans like to believe that they have always been living here, the reality is that few of them are far removed from their immigrant roots, with their parents, grandparents, or great grandparents having taken the difficult journey to come to this country. In addition, even before globalization, America was already known as the world's gathering place, and it did not collect the world's wealthy or the elite. On the contrary, it attracted the rejected, the oppressed, or the ones who were looking for a new opportunity. Finally, illegal immigrants are also a very important part of the US economy. Moving forward, from a historical background, until the late 19th century, there wasn't any such thing as illegal or legal immigration to the United States. That's because before you can immigrate somewhere illegally, there has to be a law for you to break. American immigration began around the 1700s. However, there were no federal laws governing who could enter and who couldn't until the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. Moreover, we can also look at immigration from the three sociological perspectives: functionalist, conflict, and interactionist. The functionalist perspective proposes that all elements of a society should work together to preserve order and stability. From this perspective, we could argue that immigrants are a valuable part of the American society who contribute not only to the economic system but to all aspects in general. Next, conflict theory argues that society is engaged in a series of disagreements, tensions, and clashes as groups compete for limited resources. From this theory, we can see how Americans, consumers and farmers, exploit the efforts of migrant farm laborers. In addition, Americans tend to have this fear that immigrants will alter their culture. This is probably due to something known as false consciousness, which means that people tend to hold attitudes that do not accurately reflect the situation. Finally, the interactionist perspective proposes that people uses a process known as the social construction of reality to create an idea that justifies the way in which they interact with others. An example of this will be the negative images of immigrants being elicited by the media. But what is the reality of illegal immigration in America? Many claim that immigrants do not pay any taxes. Others strongly believe that they are taking their jobs. But are these perceptions or they're real facts? Let's take a look at the numbers to see what they tell us. A big claim is how immigrants increase the crime rate. This is true if you consider that an estimated of 11 million undocumented immigrants are in violation of American immigration policy. But the reality is that FBI data show that over a span of 20 years, crime has actually dropped, violent crime in particular almost by half, all while the undocumented immigrant population tripled. Last year, the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement removed 139,368 undocumented immigrants who were previously convicted of a crime. Next, it is also believed that undocumented immigrants are taking the jobs from Americans. It is argued that immigrants are willing to accept lower wages and poor working conditions. But the data shows that it may be more about skills, as it is estimated that 8.1 million undocumented immigrants are working or looking for work, which is about 5.1% of the nation's labor force. However, in specific jobs like farming, cleaning and maintenance, and construction, undocumented workers make up more larger percentages of each sector. But people often do not consider that immigrants are more likely to do those jobs because They don't necessarily require fluency in English or a high school or college diploma. This is because 47% of undocumented immigrants have less than a high school education, while only 8% of US-born residents have not graduated from high school. That's why native-born, low-skilled workers are likely to be cashiers, truck drivers, and waiters. Now, what about the claims that immigrants don't pay any taxes? Well, they actually pay more than $11 billion each year in sales, property, and income taxes. Income tax? Really? That's right. Many undocumented immigrants have ITIN numbers, and this is how they fit into the tax system. If the US were to legalize all the undocumented immigrants, the additional taxes they will pay will be estimated around $2 billion for roads, schools, and other services. That's definitely more than what some tax avoiding Americans pay, right?